Hey now, what's up guys? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am here to talk about Ant-Man, which I was lucky enough to go to a special early screening for. It was in IMAX 3D. Yes, oh yes it was. This film is directed by Peyton Reed, and the plot is we meet Paul Rudd as Scott Lang. And Scott Lang, we see at the beginning of the movie, is just getting out of prison because he's somebody who robs people. I mean, he's very good at what he does, except for, I guess, this one time when he got caught. But now that he's out, he wants to start afresh, anew. He wants to do good for himself, especially for his daughter, Cassie, until just like life sucks. He can't get a job, he can't really do anything, and so he says, all right, I'm gonna go after this one job. Come to find out, this was something that Hank Pym, played by Michael Douglas, wanted to recruit him to become the Ant-Man and stop the evil villain's scheme. Now, what I thought of Ant-Man was, I very, very much enjoyed this film. And I know for some people who might have seen some of my reviews before, you might say, well, of course you like this movie. It's Marvel. I've been called a Marvel fanboy once or twice, so I guess it's not too surprising that I did like this movie. However, I will say that it's not because, at least I don't think it's because it's just a Marvel movie. It's not just because they have Avengers references. No, it's just because this was a good movie, a good story, something different. Marvel has made how many of these type of films by now? A good amount. And some people will complain that they're formulaic, or that they're predictable, or that this and that is going to happen. But I felt like watching this movie that this was one of their most different superhero movies that they've done, and I respect it so much for that. Let's talk about really the only thing that I was worried about going into this movie was how Edgar Wright originally wrote this film and was supposed to direct it until him and Marvel had a falling out. I guess creative differences. Edgar Wright left, and so now you had Peyton Reed come in, and I was just worried because not only did I want to see what Edgar Wright was going to do, but just the fact that, well, if you bring someone in to either rewrite some of this movie or direct somebody else's script, it could go wrong. You could have a lot of clashes. Don't get me wrong, I did feel like some of this humor I could totally see coming from Edgar Wright, and they probably kept some of that stuff, but nothing ever was too jarring or glaring, or nothing ever felt like it was too many ideas thrown into one. Really, really enjoyed seeing Michael Douglas in this movie, not just because he's playing Hank Pym, who is a character that ever since they started doing the Marvel movies, I always wanted to see if they would do Ant-Man or Hank Pym and how he would fit in. But seeing Michael Douglas in a Marvel movie in general, a superhero movie, is something I thought I'd never see. He was great in it. I love the history that he brought with the character. Evangeline Lilly as his daughter, Hope, I very much enjoyed. Corey Stoll as Darren Cross. He's the villain of sorts. You know, he wasn't bad. I just think that there wasn't a whole lot to him. He is your typical sort of villain, so I guess some people will say, well, see, Marvel can't do villains all that great. Well, okay, fine. Check one off there for that column. But some of the other minor characters, Michael Pena, who I think has a whole lot of great funny moments. I very much enjoyed him. T.I., who honestly didn't have to be here, but he did have like one or two funny moments, so I'll give him that. And then this other character, Kurt, who is a part of their heist group. For anybody who loves The Dark Knight as much as I do, see him in this movie and you will instantly recognize who he was in The Dark Knight. So earlier when I mentioned that this movie was very different from any other Marvel movie that they've done, it's because this isn't an action-packed movie. It's not. Sure, there's some great special effects. Sure, you get your scenes of when Paul Rudd becomes the Ant-Man and shrinks down in the suit, and you get those just amazing effects of him shrunken in that world and everything else, heightened and big. I love all that stuff. I think exploring the world in that way was very cool. His relationship with the ants and working with them, communicating with them was also something very different. But again, it's not action-packed. It's not filled with action. It's not like this whole big, the world's gonna explode action scene. It's just two people fighting each other, and then you can mess with the technology of them shrinking and growing again. My rating for Ant-Man is a full price. My friend that came with me was very surprised that I'm not giving this a better than sex. I want to treat that rating as sacred as it should be, and so I'm not going to give like every Marvel movie that. I'm trying to be a little less biased here, but still, it's a great movie. I enjoyed it. Full price, definitely all the way. And please, people, stay through the credits. The very last scene is totally fucking worth it. I guarantee you. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you're interested in checking out Ant-Man. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.